How is it that people can do that for me? I don't deserve that. That's thankfulness. Now, I want to talk about some good news. Y'all watch the news, listen to the news? No. We have any news junkies here?
No. Yeah.
Good. We need people that are news junkies. It's a sign of intelligence. Only a sign, not necessarily conclusive proof.
I don't know about being a sign of intelligence, but it's a sign of being informed.
It is a sign of being informed. Absolutely. If you paid attention to the news at all, you know that we're in a very bad economic place in our nation and in the world. Everybody on the news is talking about how bad it is overall. I got on Facebook. I've become a Facebook addict. One of my friends on Facebook said, "I wish that the Dow Jones was an actual roller coaster, because it'd be the funnest one out there. It'd be better than anything else. If it actually was a real roller coaster." This week, who was in Washington, D.C. with their hat in their hands asking for help? The automakers, the big three. The big three, all the way back to Henry Ford, are standing there looking at the government saying, "Please help us or we're going to die." I don't know how that strikes you, but that's really not a good sign. That's a problem. If that doesn't do it for you, let me just read you a few quotes. Nouriel Roubini, he's a global economist, New York University, Yahoo Finance, on October 8th said this: "At this point, severe damage is done in our economy. Severe damage is done, and one cannot rule out a systematic collapse and a global depression." Underscoring how bad things have gotten, President Bush, talking about why he agreed to the $700 billion bailout plan, said he agreed to it after being told that the nation was at risk of falling into a depression greater than the Great Depression. Now, I didn't go through the Great Depression. I think that somehow if we hit a depression, the world turns into black and white. Because all the pictures I've seen of the Great Depression are black and white. So somehow, if we hit the depression, we lose color. We can't afford color anymore. It's just gone. But I've heard stories. My grandmother was a child of depression. And I remember going to her house. And I went upstairs at her house. And in her attic kind of upstairs area, she had stockpiled canned goods. Seemed like acres of canned goods. Because it could happen again. I'm from the 80s generation. Eat half the can, toss the rest. It was 48 cents. We'll get another one. This was the generation of hoard everything. That scares me, because that's the depression. Your stories of soup lines and 48% unemployment. And we have created a culture of an economy that is completely a house of cards, people. And you and I have done it together. It's not just the government, although I'd like to blame them. But it's also us. Because our economy has been built on debt. How many of you have debt other than, don't raise your hands, how many of you have debt other than your mortgage? Car loan, student loan, credit card, etc., etc. Don't raise your hands. This isn't a recovery group for finances. That's financial peace that's coming. we've developed a culture, an economy that is built on the health of the economy. You heard the concept credit crunch, right? That's what's causing this thing, credit crunch. There's not money. People are scared to lend money. So if we can't lend money to people to buy things that they don't have money for, then our economy collapses. I mean, it's funny that what has propelled our economy forward is people spending more money than they have. This is a house of cards that at a certain point will collapse. I mean, something has to be done or it will collapse, because I don't know about you, but in our house, if you spend more money and you max out the credit cards and you max out whatever debt you can get, at some point things start to fall apart because you can't pay all your bills, let alone anything else. So that's what our economy is built on. This is not good news. We've hit our credit limit and we're racking up overcharges. Okay? So let me tell you what our government is doing. What our government is doing is trying to get more money into the system so you can borrow more, so you can buy more stuff, so that we can prop the economy back up by going farther into debt. You did that in church.
But he did in hell.
The number one priority is to get credit back into the system so that individuals, businesses, and governments will start buying again. Unfortunately, this will create another problem. The current rescue plans, which will force governments to issue more debt, print money, and flood the markets with liquidity, will flare up inflation after the crisis is over and will create worse problems. Jim Rogers' words, we're setting the stage for when we come out of this, of a massive inflation, and then listen to the word that he uses to describe it. A massive inflation holocaust. You don't use that word except for massive impact. Are you nervous yet? Welcome to church.